Hi, every pony. Welcome to Twisted. Hold on, let me do that again. Let me deal psychic damage to everyone again. Hi, every pony. Welcome to TwstNotes, where I summarize the latest story update in JP. I'm so glad it only took me 2 hours to get through the story instead of the usual 4 to 6. I mean, yeah, I'm still perhaps going to be going to bed at like 4 or 5 a.m. to get this out ASAP, but I'll be able to get to sleep, like, earlier than usual, because usually I go to bed at like 10 or 11 a.m. when, story updates happen. Although there's some battles with this update, they're not a slog like previous updates, thankfully. So, without further ado, let's talk about the story update parts 101 to 116. We pick up from last time where Silver, Sebek, Yu, and Grim are now in Ignihide with an awake Idia and Ordo. Silver freaks out that if Idia is awake, the darkness must be after them. He's all like, "You, Grim, get behind me," in a very serious boy. I love my son. But Ordo tells him to chill and that Malleus is too busy trying to put Lilia back to sleep. They spent a long time talking about whether this is a dream or not, and like, I usually like tackling plot points as they're revealed, but I'm just gonna tell y'all what's up now because it was honestly kinda confusing. This is my understanding of the dream situation using some of the analogy the game uses. Think of Malleus's realm/domain over Sage's island like a server, and Malleus is the administrator/person in control. Everyone has their own individual data in the server, aka their dreams. Idia, as I'll explain in a bit, has had his account essentially wiped, and it's now a void space where they all are. So they're still technically in the server, but they're not recognized by the server, if that makes sense. That's the way I understood it, but to be honest, it was kind of hard to follow, and then we got more info later, so this is my conclusion and understanding of it as of now with all of the information. So anyways, they talk about that, and Ordo fills them in on what happened to him and Idia. The rest of the chapter is essentially a flashback. Ordo was given the mission to infiltrate Sage's island and gather data on Malleus' signature spell so Styx can figure out a way to break it. He's all dressed up in his Cerberus gear with his 2 metal puppy companions. They're gonna scatter some sensors around the island to get a read on Malleus' magic. With Styx's backup, the 3 approach the island, which is still covered in vines. The vines start attacking them as they're trying to break through. Styx starts attacking the vines, and the vines focus more on Styx, allowing Ordo to slip onto the island. Fellas? Not looking great. It's green, foggy, and there's still vines. Ordo has the eye dogs to help spread the sensors. It'll take 20 minutes for them to gather info and save it to their memory cores. Malleus shows up and tries striking Ordo with lightning. He's confused that Ordo is there, but also asleep back in the dorm. Ordo starts gloating and explaining everything to Malleus, which, like, yes, it's impressive, Ordo, but 1, I don't know if he's gonna understand all of that, and 2, I don't think we should be explaining our methods to Malleus when he could use that info against us, but like, okay. Malleus likens the whole thing to ghosts and possession, which honestly, me too, man. Me too. Anyways, he's like, well, if I break you, you won't bother me anymore, and tries to get Ordo. At least Ordo fights back. If it were me, I was thinking about this the whole time, and I was like, I don't know what this says about me. I'd be like Trixie in that one bit where she's making fun of Katya for saying no to a fight. Anyways, Ordo realizes that thankfully, Malleus doesn't see the sensors as a threat, but also that he needs to buy time to get them to gather info. I guess he has to physically take them out and they don't just transmit data wirelessly, which, weird, but okay. Ordo gets his ass handed to him and Malleus may or may not have smashed one of the eye dogs. Yeah, he smashed the eye dog. Things are looking bad for Ordo and he's trying to wait out the few seconds the sensors have left. Malleus is gathering magic to strike Ordo and all of a sudden his magic is stopped. Both are surprised by it and Ordo says it's like he froze. Not like what people do if they're hesitating, like a literal he could not move or fight it. They're confused, but the sensors finish getting their data. The weird magic freeze pisses Malleus off even more, and he smashes the remaining eye dog, even though it didn't do anything, but like, okay. Back at 6, Mama and Papa Shroud tell everyone to unleash a giant barrage on the island to try and help Ordo. In the ensuing chaos, Ordo is able to escape. His body is horribly damaged, but some Chirons report back and reveal Ordo is okay, and they'll take him back. Mama and Papa Shroud, who thought they had just lost their son a second time, are relieved. Malleus, back on the island, is big mad and resolves to get rid of any unwanted guests that will come in the future. Ordo wakes up in hologram mode. Mama and Papa Shroud are there and are even more relieved that he's awake. He's been dormant? I don't know. I don't think unconscious is the right word, but I don't know what the right word would even be. Anyways, he's been out and both Styx and the peeps from Briar Valley have been analyzing Malleus' magic. They say there's something about Malleus' magic that was similar to the ancient magic on Grimm, which, That's suspicious. They also understand everything now and fill Ordo in. There's a 99.8% chance of failing to attack Malleus from the outside, but even attacking from within looks bleak since, like, I wasn't joking when I used the server analogy. Sage's Island is Malleus' domain now, and he's fucked up everything. He's God, basically. Papa Shroud even says if Malleus isn't convinced to stop it, the only other way to break the spell would be for Malleus to die, basically. They say it a lot nicer, but that's the implication I got, that he would have to die for it to stop if he didn't choose to stop it. There's also the problem of people are too deep into sleep, and if they forcefully end the dream, it could end up killing people and destroying their souls. No, I don't really get it, but I'm here for hot dragons. I'm not here for it to make sense. They have the idea of having Malleus' grandmother Militia go to the island and try to talk some sense into him, but Mama Shroud wants to try another way. Remember the server analogy? Mama Shroud basically treated the way Malleus wove his magic as code and dismantled part of it and is now able to view Idia's dreams. She's essentially put in a back door, as the game says. Malleus doesn't know about it, and she wants to contact Idia to wake him up and have people fight from the inside. They're also trying to get everyone else's dreams unlocked too. She's trying to dream dox them and get their dream IPs. We have a callback to chapter 6 with the whole turning 0 into 1. I don't know, whatever the Aqua song was. Ordo is about to make contact with Idia when his parents stop him. They're worried that if they just go in, that Idia will reject Ordo and it won't work. Ordo reassures them that it will. He says Idia will be ecstatic about, quote, a handsome boy asking for his help via a computer monitor. And Idia will liken this to anime and manga he's read over and over again, and he'll be excited about becoming the chosen one to save the world. The parents are still worried, but Ordo goes for it. Also, he did a really funny Idia impersonation. In Idia's dream, he's just finishing up a dungeon run with Muscle Red. There's 3 SSRs that are getting removed from the game, so he's trying to get them before they're gone. He gets a video call from Ordo, the real Ordo, and we see his desktop. I feel so validated seeing his desktop because mine's just as messy and my best friend always roasts me because of it. Anyways, Idia answers the call and real Ordo shows up. Idia is confused as, in his dream, Ordo is fully human and at RSA. At first, Idia thinks Ordo must have picked up cosplaying as a hobby, but he's confused as to how he got such a good quality outfit when this would assumedly be his first, cosplay to make. Ordo assures him that it's not cosplay and explains he's an AI Idia made. Idia is still confused and now he thinks they're talking about some anime or something. He even thinks maybe Ordo looks like that because it's a digital avatar. Using a digital avatar? Cringe. Who would ever do that? Ordo realizes this isn't gonna work, so he goes into the whole I need you to lend me your power to save the world thing, and Idia is like, holy shit, a handsome boy is asking for my help via a computer monitor? And quotes Ordo word for word what he said earlier, and he reacts exactly how Ordo said he would. But before Idia can do anything more, Dream Ordo calls and calls real Ordo fake. I have it in my notes, where is it? I was being goofy silly when I wrote it, but so my notes say, Dream Ordo calls him as like, that fugly slut is fake. Oh god, I should put my notes up as a Patreon perk. Oh, there's so many unhinged things in my notes. It turns out the dreams have some sort of failsafe, so if someone's trying to wake up, there's something that will try to get them to go back to sleep. Idia is extremely confused now. Blot fills the room and Dream Ordo shows up, in person, or he's there now. He's just there now. And he tries to convince Idia to go back to sleep. And he does. Idia wakes up in his ceremonial robes in the courtyard. He's basically back at where his dream first started. Malleus shows up and tells him they need to go to the new student ceremony thing. Idia is like, dude, that happened months ago. And Malleus is like, no, it didn't? We should get going or we'll be late. They start to go, but there's a giant boom and Ordo manages to break into the dream. Malleus is pissed again, and Ordo gloats again. Malleus shifts into his Overblot appearance and attacks Ordo. The dream starts collapsing, and Malleus explains because Ordo wasn't supposed to be there when he did show up, Idia's dream lost its happy ending, so it's collapsing. He bounces. Darkness begins to fill the dream, and it starts pulling Idia in. Ordo is trying to pull him out. Mama Shroud calls and tells Ordo to get out immediately. If he gets swallowed up, he can't come back. It's over. It is over. Idia is shocked to hear their mom's voice. He isn't able to be saved and falls into the blot, screaming. Ordo has no choice but to leave. Idia wakes up in the netherworld and is greeted by Phantom Ordo, who's like, welcome to hell, bitch! Idia is freaking out and talking about his dream, that Ordo goes to RSA and everything is fine. Phantom Ordo is like, me? RSA? You're dreaming. Idia remembers overblotting and everything that's happened. He wakes up and starts crying, which, babe, wake up! New sleep paralysis demon dropped. This is more terrifying than the unknown from the AI Willy Wonka experience fiasco. But then again, everything is more scary than that. But anyways, Idia is like, I gotta get to the real Ordo, but Phantom Ordo is refusing to let him leave since he's the king of the netherworld. Idia takes him up on the challenge and forces himself to Overblot. This update is really giving us hopium that one day we'll get Overblot cards. The brothers fight and we get to play as Overblot Idia. That is really fun, not gonna lie. That was extremely fun. Idia beats him and uses his signature spell to open the gates to get out. Phantom Ordo accepts defeat and tells him he'll be waiting for him. Idia wakes up in his dream dorm again and gets a call from Dream Ordo. Idia's like, who the fuck is this? And Dream Ordo is like, your brother? Idia is then like, oh no, my SSR is being removed from the game. Wait, this is a dream. I could get them for sure. Dream Ordo is like, what are you talking about? And Idia calls him out on not being real, basically, and then bitch clats on Dream Ordo. Idia calls out for the real Ordo, who appears on the monitor again. Ordo fills him in on everything that happened. Idia is horrified that his mom went through everything on his PC and she saw everything. Ordo is like, well, she didn't say anything about it. And Idia replies that makes it worse. He claims if he didn't incinerate Blot, he'd overblot from his mom having seen everything on his computer. He's having a bit of a meltdown, which, yeah, it's funny, but also I feel a little bad because if my mom saw the smutfics I've written about Malleus and other characters, I would be horrified. Like, she's read one of my Fire Emblem fics, but I don't want her reading anything from my not safe for work AO3. Idia, after going through it, is fucking pissed and wants revenge on Malleus. He blames Malleus for putting his mom in a position where she had to snoop in his computer, which honestly, good on him for blaming Malleus and not his mom. A+ on Idia for that. But anyway, Idia swears he'll get Malleus for this, and the update ends. So yeah, it's a lot easier to go through this time around. The battles are pretty easy compared to the battle maps. You only need to survive to the end of 5 turns, although I did actually beat Phantom Ordo in that battle. But Overblot Idia is insanely strong, so I'm not surprised. We're theoretically getting close to the end of Chapter 7? I would imagine at least, although I don't know for sure. Hopefully the next update will be chill like this one is, but for some reason I have a feeling it's not gonna be. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.